Sometimes those light bulb moments are on a strand wrapped around a Christmas tree. As you celebrate with friends and family this holiday season, your friends at Studel Financial Services want to wish you a Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year. It's never too late to start planning for your future. Studel Financial Services. Find them online at studelfinancial.com.
What's going on, everybody? This is the Yards Per Fantasy crew, and we are doing a custom podcast for the Southern Bluegrass Fantasy Football Championship. And honestly, this is going to be a great episode because I just nailed that intro. Normally, I come in hot and I screw it up right away, and I say the wrong league or something stupid. We're off to a great start. I've got my guys, Alex and Ryan, with me. Along with that, we are going to have some guests from the league. We're going to go over each of their teams, talk to them, and, see what kind of chances they got at winning some money. And I'll tell you what, if you take down that prize, you better be calling that financial person, because I don't know what the hell I'd be doing with that much cash at once. This is a tournament. Actually, hold on. Alex, what's up?
What's up?
How's it going?
I'm sick, but I'm here.
All right. He's got the COVID.
COVID cannot stop content.
That is right. Ryan, how's it going, buddy?
Fantastic, man. I'm happy to finally be doing one of these with you again, and especially in this tournament format. It's going to be fun. I can't wait.
Great. Yeah, great to have you back on.
I appreciate it.
But yeah, this is cool. We got kind of Scott Fishbowl style tournament here. And it looks like you guys are climbing the points leaderboard and you got 2 weeks to go and trying to win some pretty sweet cash here. So all of you, I believe, won your respective divisions, which now puts you in the champions leaderboard. Yeah,
that should be correct.
Okay.
We can ask just to be sure, but I think that's correct.
But yeah, I think, without further ado, I think we're ready to bring on our first guest here, and that's going to be Chaz with the Jets Flyers.
What's up, fellas?
What's going on?
Hey.
Hey, thank you guys for having me.
All right, we are excited to do it for the league, so I mean that's pretty sweet. But so you are currently what, in 46th? We looked up.
Yes. Yeah.
And,
I'm battling.
Top 15 takes money, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so you're about 32 points out, but we got 2 weeks to go.
I can cover that.
All right, cool. Yeah, take it away if you got something planned. You drive the shit, man.
Well, I'm excited about what we got coming up. I just need my studs to be studs. You know what I'm saying? My studs, CeeDee Lamb, Stephon Diggs. I need them to show up. I mean,
you got JT back.
JT's coming back. Yeah, I've got TJ Hawkinson. I've got Addison. Nico Collins is coming back without Stroud this week, but hopefully he can still score for me. I mean, swinging for the fences right now,
Yeah.
I think you're in a pretty good spot though, because Breece Hall's been kind of quiet, but that Commanders defense is garbage.
Right.
Stephon Diggs is in the same boat. Chargers are giving up boatloads of points. CeeDee Lamb in a competitive game this week against the Dolphins probably is going to be a great play.
Mm-hmm.
And then you got Hawkinson and Addison in a fighting for a division right now. So you've got a lot of good matchups on the team this week.
Can we get Stephon Diggs to do something, please?
Yes, please.
He's well overdue. Let's put it that way.
It's time.
It's not like Gabe Davis is stealing anything from him. He's got donuts like 3 out of 5 weeks or whatever.
It's so wild because going into the season, I was kind of like, I don't want anyone in that offense that's not Allen or Diggs, because nobody has ever been like consistently, productive outside of those two. And then now here we are, and Diggs isn't even like reliable week to week now.
They're playing against 2 awful offenses right now. So that worries me that their offense is going to be like, we're just going to run the ball all day like they did last week.
I do have a question for you, Chaz.
All right, what you got, buddy?
Are you considering? I know this is probably the final lineup you got locked in at the moment. Are you considering at all James Conner with how hot he's been the past 2 games that he's had? He's got 3 touchdowns, almost 200 rushing yards, and there's no Marquise Brown this week. He's out. Chicago's not. I mean, Chicago's run defense is much better than it's going to look on paper.
No, definitely. I played him last week. Nico Collins is questionable. So I've got to think about, do I want to put Connor in there? But from where I'm at in the point standings, I'm looking at ceiling. Yeah, I'm swinging for the fences. It's do or die. So to me, wide receiver is probably the play. But yeah, it's very tempting to put Connor in because he could go 20, 25 easily.
Yeah, that's been my fear with benching Connor in some leagues because I've had good running back depth, but then the last 2 weeks it's like I just had to find a way to put him in after that Pittsburgh game, and some of with the Nico Collins thing scares me only for the fact that C.J. Stroud's out again.
Exactly.
That's what scares me the most. Tank Dell not being there is great, but I don't know if I can trust. It's Case Keenum again, right? They already said that it's going to be Keenum, so.
And I've also got Isaiah Likely on the bench.
I was going to bring him up.
Is likely to score some points.
He has had.
Likely.
I don't remember the exact tweet or the exact stat, but I'm almost positive it said targets. He's on pace for more in the past 3 weeks than what on a per game average than what Mark Andrews was getting when he was healthy. So he's Jackson's obviously looking at him right now more than pretty much anybody else. Flowers came back today, so he's no longer questionable. He was a full participant, but that's tough too. But it's almost like you can't bench Hawkinson, so you'd be looking at the and
it would be a flex thing, yeah.
Yeah.
I personally wouldn't flex Likely just because of those the linebackers on San Francisco between Warner and Dre Greenlaw. That's trouble all over.
The tough matchup.
He'll have to go wide receiver if he wants to make his points on Monday.
I would be between Collins and Connor. My worry is the same as Ryan. But then on the other side, my worry with Connor is that the Bears defense, since getting Sweat, has been actually really good.
The run defense is scary good.
But Connor still just gets that volume. So, I mean, he's always able to get some catches, punch it in the end zone, and give you a solid day.
Yeah.
But you're still spot on about Nico and the ceiling. We've seen him pop off for 30 points multiple times, and I obviously think he takes a hit without Stroud, but he's that type of big receiver that you can just get the ball up there. He can get it.
Right. He's a stud.
Do you guys think that Jordan Addison has the higher ceiling out of JSN and James Conner as well?
Oh, easily, especially since JJ's back.
Mm-hmm. That was
the lowest
question.
He's got the lowest floor though.
It helps us.
Probably.
I agree with that.
We need ceiling here.
Exactly.
Like you said, Chaz is in 46. He wants to get that top 15.
That's it, man.
So it's I like the strategy. Keep swinging for the fences. If you had a Gabe Davis on your bench, that's probably the only one that we'd be thinking about, like those, 0 or 35-point guys. You know what I mean? But
yeah. No, I love my team. I'm soft at quarterback. I drafted Deshaun Watson. Didn't work out. That it happened. But I drafted wide receiver. That was going to be my strength this year. So
if I went to the season with Diggs and Lamb, I'd be doing backflips. So you made the right choice there. It's just Diggs has had a bad 5-week stretch.
Yeah.
So does this league permit trading and such?
No.
Throughout this?
No.
Yeah, I didn't think so. Which means that everything here was draft or pick up off the waiver wire, which is great because you got depth everywhere. But yeah, and you guys would all go Indy over Minnesota this week for defense. That matters in this league.
Yeah, it does.
Who you got?
Oh, easily for me.
Yeah, I agree too.
Yeah, I guess Atlanta. Yeah.
Taylor Heineke's starting.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. Yeah, definitely Indianapolis on that.
Sacks, interceptions, the whole everything.
Yeah, Ritter won't throw very many picks, but Taylor Heineke will take a couple shots.
Ritter will. It's just his are just 10 times his backbreaking.
Right.
True.
See, Ritter has the picks without the hero ball that comes with Taylor Heineke.
That's fair. Yeah, Chads, I was gonna say this is. I can tell looking at your roster, like you drafted a solid ass team here.
Thank you, sir.
And obviously you have to make it this far in a tournament like this.
And you've held Roshan all season long.
I have.
Most of us.
Yeah. Yeah.
Don't worry, he probably won't be
Top
used.
24 running back 2 of the last 3 weeks.
Yeah, and the Cardinals just give up boatloads of points to running backs, so it's like one of those teaser ones where like
He played.
he's
50% of the
tempting,
snaps
but like
last week.
you can't get that cute with it.
Well, you know, I mean,
Right,
I'm
right.
shaky because I've got Jonathan Taylor coming off of injury. I've got Brees Hall, who is up or down. It could be 2 points. It could be 25. But once again, I mean, just
You got Smith
playing towards the max, you
You
know.
got Smith, Juba, or whatever his name is. He's fucking weird. I think he's a
I love Roshan, but he only had 5 carries last week, so we can't go for that.
Yeah, you're not playing him. You're not
No,
playing
you're not,
him.
but
I'm
it's
just
like-
appreciating that he's on the roster.
Somebody listened this offseason. If it worked or not, that's neither here nor there.
I feel like
All right, let's see.
I feel like
what Alex?
I've talked about him I make a video every week. I've talked about Roshan like 8 times this year. Like it's this close, it's about to happen, and then he just never.
And then it
happens.
doesn't happen.
It just never happens.
Post type sleeper. It'll be next year. No one will draft him. We'll all be off of him. He'll be a
I
He'll be all over next year.
I will draft him.
All right, cool.
Hey, if you guys don't mind, I'd like to plug Studio Financial.
Yes, please.
Do it.
For
You do better than us.
in the
Even
Central
after we
Kentucky
played the
area.
jingle.
Yeah, I flip the light bulb on. Anybody that's looking to, anybody wants to retire, anybody wants to have someone manage their money, or that needs their taxes done by a professional, these are the best people to do it.
They kind of plug my team defense.
That's what's up.
Do you work for them?
No.
His wife does.
Okay. You're just a fan.
No, but he's a company
He's just
man.
Just a
I'm a company
fan.
man.
All right.
He's a company man. Yeah.
All right, so one last thing before we let you out of here, Chaz. Who would win in a fight, taco or a grilled cheese sandwich?
Oh, it's easily taco. Easily.
All right, mark one down for taco. All right, Chaz.
Is this the
best of
question of
luck.
the night?
Hope this week you make up some ground so that you got a shot at some money going into the last one.
Appreciate it, fellas. It's been a pleasure.
Absolutely, man. Thanks for coming, Chaz.
Thanks, guys.
And Merry Christmas from the electric company.
Sometimes those light bulb moments are on a strand wrapped around a Christmas tree. As you celebrate with friends and family this holiday season, your friends at Studel Financial Services want to wish you a Merry Christmas.
I don't know where our next guest is,
Oh, okay. Well,
Okay.
then we wait.
but
If someone else is here, bump them
so
up.
okay. So yeah, the problem is.
Yeah, that sounds about right, actually. It's the Jacksonville fan in him.
Yeah.
So our first guest didn't show, and so we bumped up Chaz. So now we're kind of waiting for who's ever next. So should we just go back and talk about Kelly's team real quick and just?
Yeah, because they were supposed to be the first one, correct? So
Yeah.
hopefully they show up while we're talking.
We got a couple of taco votes.
Oh, there we go. See? We can filibuster about. You want to talk about tacos and grilled cheese? You want to filibuster about that?
I'm only accepting official votes from people on the podcast who
Okay,
joined.
all right.
So
I mean,
we've got
that's-
6 votes, and it's 1-0 taco.
Do we get a vote, or do we just have to be bystanders?
No, we're just here for the ride.
So
What's that?
is this who wins in a fight or who we prefer as a
No, this is who wins in a
afternoon
fight.
snack? Okay.
I mean,
Well then, yeah, Kelly, bring on Kelly Thompson, Antoine. Please.
yeah. If you can you can get them. Chop chop.
No, let's get going. Yeah, Kelly.
I think your high is.
Kelly, we had a request to bring Kelly on before 9 o'clock, so we bumped him up to number 1. He won this thing in 2012.
Damn.
Maybe that's why he's so far behind time.
Yeah, he's way too famous for us.
The people have never watched Hot Rod. I can tell you that right now.
It's been a long time since I've watched soccer. And I probably watched it way too early in life.
What's Kelly's team? Derby City.
Yep, Derby City football.
We're in third place.
Third place overall, which is wild. Let's
get
see.
Coach Bruce in here.
Yeah, let's get Coach Bruce in here.
Coach, I'll send you the link if you want to hop on.
Never takes that invitation. Always just wants to watch the building burn down.
Yeah, him and Matt.
Yep.
Matt will never show his face.
Do you want me to run through the starting roster that Kelly's got in right now?
Yeah, go for it.
Sure.
Lamar Jackson, a quarterback, running back Tony Pollard, and James Conner, who we just got done talking about. I think he's still a really good play this week. Tyreek Hill.
Breaking news. Keep going.
What's up?
Kelly, what's going on, man? We were just running through your roster.
Better late than
my
never.
apologies. My apologies, guys. I'm at the King of the Bluegrass basketball tournament in Louisville, Kentucky, and my son plays basketball and just jiggling things around here. But I apologize for my tardiness here, but I am here now.
Oh, that's all right, man. We appreciate you just coming in.
I understand jiggling things around.
Been there.
Yeah,
I'm
or
a
juggling.
big guy, yeah.
Juggling. Yeah, juggling.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You want me to keep going through the rest of his roster, or should we let Kelly just take over and
Yeah,
sell
go
us?
through the roster and
All right, I'll go through the roster. I'll restart real quick. Lamar Jackson, QB, running back Tony Pollard and James Conner, wide receiver Tyreek Hill, Chris Olave, who's already played, Sam Laporta at tight end, flexes are Chuba Hubbard and Ty Chandler, Tyler Bass kicker, Chicago defense this week going up against Arizona. So, I mean, third place team, man, you're making all the right start-sit decisions. I know we're just looking at the starting roster right there, but looking at the bench too, there's some players that have gone absolutely bananas, even all the way down to guys like Dontavian Wicks, who had a big week last week. So you're making the right calls no matter how the roster looks in general. So sell us on your starting roster this week, man. We may as well just go right back to that.
Well, I'm thinking back to the draft. I think I got the 10th pick overall. And the cool thing about the SBFFC, you can kind of bid on your draft selection. So I've always thought that's the coolest thing because, there's been some years where you feel like if you don't get the 1 or 2 pick, you're at a huge disadvantage. Well, in the Southern Bluegrass, you can bid on your draft positions and you can never use that as an excuse. You can be at the front of the draft or at the end of it, depending on how you want to spend your money. But I took the 10th spot, and I never dreamed I got Tyreek Hill with the first pick. And, drafts are like personalities. Every draft is different. And my plan going in was to get Nick Chubb late and ended up going with Tyreek Hill, which obviously has paid off. But I need to get Tyreek Hill healthy for me this week.
Are these drafts entirely live in person? Sorry, Ryan.
They are. They're entirely done in person. And as I said, you get a $1,000 budget, and you can use that budget to bid on your draft slot, and then whatever is left over, you get to use in free agency throughout the year. So I love that concept. Yeah, and if there's a number 1 pick you really want, spend the money and get them.
Dude, I love that.
So I love what you said about every draft is different, because one of my kind of gripes about the fantasy community giving advice in general is they just give all advice in a vacuum, and nothing in fantasy happens in a vacuum. Everything has context. So yeah, I love that you brought that up, because you could be sitting in the 4th round and, blank might be the certain best pick, but you've already loaded up 3 wide receivers. You know what I mean? Like, everything has context. And I love that you go into the draft with that mindset.
Absolutely. And then I use a tier rating. I have tiers for my players, and honestly, the best place to be a lot of times is in the middle of the draft, because you're 12, 13 picks away from draft picks. If you're at the front of the draft or at the end of the draft, sometimes you're 24 picks away, and sometimes those tiers get away from you. So it's not a bad spot to be in the middle. But yeah, I mean, when you go into a draft and you're like, I'm going to get this player, and this player, there's nothing wrong with wanting to go in with a plan. But if you're getting good at it, that plan is going to change because, like I said, every draft is different. You just never know what's going to fall. You never know who's going to be taken early. And just go in with an open mind. Okay, here's the players I like, and we'll take the value that we get, and then we'll grab some along the way that we like.
Yeah, that's so true. That's so true.
And people say, well, what's the best draft strategy? Listen, they all work if you pick the right players. You know, the late round quarterback, it works. If you draft if you draft the right quarterback, it works. The no running back philosophy, grab your running backs late. That works if you get the right running backs, or, the best starter method. That'll work too if you draft the right guy. So, I just go in with an open mind, and I kind of know who I like. And like I said, I got the 10 pick thinking Nick Chubb, and here comes Tyreek Hill at 10. So there you go.
Beautiful.
Yeah, the flexibility is huge, and in recognizing the value that fell right into your lap and just being like, you know what, screw my plan. Like, hell yeah.
Exactly. Yeah. I think that's a mistake a lot of people make is they're not willing to adapt and change. But, yeah, and then I think in the second round I took Tony Pollard, which that wasn't a great pick looking back now. At the time I was thrilled with it. I'll be honest with you. I was thrilled with Tony Pollard in the second round, but it's just not worked out. Yeah.
Second half's been better than the first half for sure. That's at least.
That's right.
Peaked at the right time.
That's right.
Guys, you got any lineup questions for him looking at a starting lineup?
What, Ryan?
Do you guys have any questions looking for him at a starting lineup? We gave critiques to the last one, so maybe we should look at this one too, see what the bench looks like. I mean, the only one that I can question is Ty Chandler just because Madison is questionable and he might play this week.
We do not question Ty Chandler. Ty Chandler's a full go.
There is a Twitter handle out that called, I don't know if you've seen it, called Coach Speak. And it talks about the reliability of what a coach says is going to happen, when X player comes back. And the Coach Speak this week from the Minnesota coach was that if Madison comes back, Ty Chandler is still going to handle a ton of work. And I tend to believe that. And, O'Connell seems to be one of those coaches you can kind of take him at face value. So I think even if Madison's back, I think I'm going to ride with Chandler is what I'm going to do.
I love the conviction. And I think I agree. We watched Madison all year, just looked completely average. And I'm not over here saying Ty Chandler is great, but the first chance he got to handle the load, he looked noticeably better.
Absolutely.
100%. I agree. And I was never a big Madison guy. And Alex, you weren't a big Madison believer in the offseason either. Big time. He was your running back version of Quentin Johnston.
I'll pose this to you guys. The one that I'm kind of kicking around is Dante Johnson. He plays tomorrow night, and I think we got Mason Rudolph going to be the quarterback. And I don't have the conviction to play him. You guys want to talk me out of that?
I mean, what better than relying on Rudolph on Christmas Eve?
Oh, damn it!
Well, you put it that way, okay.
I know you're not going Chandler or Johnson over Chandler on that.
No. And in fact, if I felt like I had to put Johnson in, I'm not sure who I'd put him in for. But that's the only one that I look at, and I'm thinking, is this going to bite me in the butt? But if it does, it does. I mean, the reality of it is, if you draft a good team and you have a playoff team that can, vie for a championship, you're going to miss lineup decisions. You're going to have people on your bench that outscore your starters. And I tell my son who's starting to play for a lot of fantasy, that's just part of it. If you draft a good team, sometimes your bench will outscore your starters. That just means you got a good team.
Absolutely. I always judge a team on their bench. I don't know why.
Yep.
Let's
face it. It's a vicious game, and injuries happen, right? I mean, good gracious sakes alive! It's every year. It's just like here comes. It seems like this year the injury bug has bitten the quarterbacks more than usual. It seems like the quarterbacks have been just.
That's been horrible because it trickles down to everybody else. So, like the number of backups we've seen just impacting receivers and stuff, it just sucks.
Absolutely.
Okay. Let's see here. You are about 25-ish points out of the lead with 2 weeks to go. How are you feeling on that?
I think there's realistically 15 to 25 teams still going to have a chance. I think if you look at the top 3 to 4 teams right now, a lot of it's because we had players that played on Thursday night that maybe put us ahead a little bit. But I expect after this week, after all the players have played, your top 15, 20 spots will probably be within 20 to 25 points of one another. And, how much skill's involved, how much luck's involved, I'll leave that debate for another day. But, you need some luck this time of year. You need to stay healthy. You need your players to get hot, and just cross your fingers and hope for the best. But I was fortunate enough to win it in 2012. 2018, I hadn't won a second time until the last play on Monday Night Football. The Philadelphia Eagles scored on the last play of Monday Night Football that put me in second place.
Eagles.
No.
I wanted to go puke. I mean, it was the sickest feeling I think I've ever had in my life to see, a championship in your grasp in the last play. And it was some crazy lateral play at the end of the game where the Philadelphia defense just scooped up the lateral and ran it in because the other team was just, flipping the ball around. So,
And it didn't even matter, did it?
It didn't really matter. It didn't really matter except to poor little on me. But
yeah, exactly.
Bad beats are part of it. Whether it's poker or fantasy football, it's part of it. But that's about the worst beat that I can ever remember in my life in fantasy football was losing the Southern Bluegrass on the last second play on Monday Night Football. But it is what it is. If you play it long enough, it happens to all of us.
Yep.
Good Lord.
Good thing none of us like the Eagles.
Yeah, of course. Not wearing nothing, I promise. Oh, man.
Anyone got anything else for Kelly?
No, just the fact that I think it's sad that we all have to agree Terry McLaurin should be on the bench. He should.
It is pretty wild.
But it's just the way that it is. He's just not doing nothing. And it's not on him either. It's QB play.
He had a great game last game, but it's the Jets, guys. The Jets are just, it don't take but maybe 10 or 12 points to beat the Jets anyway, and their defense is for real. So he'll be on my bench.
One field goal and it's over with. You can just run the clock out.
That's right.
All right. Well, I will say whenever I draft a team at the beginning of the season and I ask Alex for his opinion, I put all of my best players on the bench first.
That's right. Smart. He's judging on the bench. That's what you gotta do.
But before we get out of here, Kelly, we really appreciate you joining.
Took me way too long to understand that joke.
Who would win in a fight? Grilled cheese or a taco?
Guys, I'm partial to the grilled cheese. Me and my son are betting these games, and the loser has to cook the winner grilled cheese sandwich. So I'm gonna go with grilled cheese sandwich.
All right, we're tied 1-1.
Yeah.
Oh, geez.
All right, Kelly, thanks for joining us. We appreciate it. Good luck, man.
Hey, thank you all. And again, I'm sorry I was late. Have a good night, guys.
Oh, you're good, man. Thanks, Kelly.
All right.
Okay. Grilled cheese versus taco is 1-1. Who's next?
This is a structural integrity question. It's grilled cheese.
Oh.
But if it's a food question of what tastes better, tacos
No,
are versatile.
Specifically in a fight. Who would win in a fight?
Right. This is the grilled cheese. It's the structural integrity. We don't need to introduce a guest with this question. What are we doing? Schultz, do your job.
You know what?
We can undo it.
No.
Take him out of here.
He didn't deserve that.
All right, let's bring in our next guest.
Hey.
Welcome, Richard, for the first time.
Hey guys, thanks for having me. I appreciate it.
Absolutely.
How is it going, man? So you are currently in 6th place.
Yes.
How does it feel?
I'm nervous and excited at the same time. It's a lot of fun playing in this league. And, just because you're in number 6 with 2 weeks to go doesn't mean you're not going to fall off the face of the earth. All it takes is your quarterback getting injured in the first quarter and you're done.
Yeah, that's fair. And we were just talking to Kelly on our last guest about quarterback injuries. There's been just so many this year. It's been terrible.
Yes.
But your starting lineup this week's pretty awesome. Unfortunately, you got CMC with his probably hardest matchup of the year.
Yeah.
But he's still CMC, so I'm not too worried. You're sitting Jalen Hurts against the Giants, and he's got a rushing touchdown in 100 games in a row by now?
That sounds about right.
Yeah. I mean, Kyron had a solid night for you, so that was a solid start. Mike Evans against the Jags is going to be solid. Amari Houston against Houston is, I would think that's a pretty average matchup, but Amari Cooper is like popped in those random ass matchups where you don't expect much from him before. And you got Darren Waller. I'm intrigued to see how he does in his second game back. Who's your other tight end here?
Taysom Hill and K-Dot.
Okay, so yeah, I'm probably rolling Waller there for sure.
Are we?
Oh, Alex.
Ooh, we got a debate already.
Are we?
And we got Isaiah Pacheco and Chuba Hubbard.
All right, Alex, fight for the tight end on the bench that you want to play.
I want Taysom Hill.
Okay, that's fair, because if we are talking ceiling here and like trying to go blow up mode, well, he just played last night. We can't.
Yeah. 0.2. What are you doing?
Fucking Thursday night football. I hate it.
Ugh.
He had 0.2.
Well,
the
he
right
did
person.
nothing.
He didn't even do anything, so it's all good.
Yeah.
Shows how great I am at this.
It's the COVID brain.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Do you have any decisions you're kind of wish-washing on right now?
Deontay Johnson and Amari Cooper.
I think that's a fair one. And you guys got to take on that?
Amari Cooper.
I think it's Cooper.
I agree.
Even with Rudolph on Christmas Eve to run that joke back.
Yeah, Rudolph scares the crap out of me. I mean, he could literally just hyper target Deontay Johnson and it's 15 targets like we want, but he might be 10 for 47 and no touchdowns. And then it's with Amari Cooper can do that in 2 catches.
With the way they're just letting Joe Flacco just sling it however many times he wants, I'm going to roll with Amari Cooper. I mean, he's had what, 40, he's averaging about 45, 44 pass attempts in his 3 starts. And I think just 2 occasions prior to Joe Flacco that a Browns quarterback even reached 40 pass attempts. So they're just like, Flacco, this is your offense. For me, ceiling wise, that is definitely going to lean me towards Amari Cooper over Deontay Johnson, leaning on Mason Rudolph. I mean, they're just desperate at quarterback at this point when they're going to Mason Rudolph.
Yeah. I don't expect them to put up many points at all. Let's see here. You've got you're about 30, a little over 30 points from first, but you also have about the same gap from yourself to 15th. So I think you're probably feeling good about making some money here. What do you think?
I like my chances as well, but anything can happen. I'm just here for the fun now. I've already, won some money from the divisional play, and I'm playing with house money right now.
Yeah.
Dude, that's the way to look at it. I love that.
For sure. You guys think he's got the best optimal lineup for most upside? Because that feels like it's the theme of the day with all these teams trying to get to the number 1 spot. For me, I think you do. I don't think there's anyone in here that I would change out whatsoever looking at it. And I would play Jets CST over San Francisco. I know that's probably a question for some people too, but I would still go Jets CST over San Francisco this week just because of the Baltimore matchup.
I agree. Yeah, I think this lineup is probably how I would roll it too. I mean, Chuba Hubbard, that's not a sexy start, but since Frank Reich has gotten fired, he's gotten 22 plus carries a game.
It's been a lot, that's for sure. I can look up his official stuff right now, but he's been everything that I wanted Miles Sanders to be.
Okay, but I remember we did one of these shows in the summer, and I got laughed at for saying Chuba Hubbard is the best running back on the Panthers.
Yeah, we did laugh at you.
He definitely wasn't the wealthiest, which you follow the money, that usually works, but it failed this
time. Richard, what draft slot did you have?
I had number 2.
Number 2. Okay, so
I got CMC number 2.
CMC, duh.
JJ went 1.
Okay,
yes.
So see, I think you were really smart in taking McCaffrey second. And the opportunities I had with the first pick and a couple best balls I did, I was CMC all day. It's just he's the only running back in the league that you can 100% rely on, like week in and week out anymore. And I think that's so valuable. He hardly gets hurt. He's on maybe the best
Other than
offense in
Rashad
the
White.
league. What?
I said other than Rashad White.
That's probably my biggest miss of the fantasy season, but that's a different story because he doesn't have Rashad White, so
I know.
I don't have to take that loss right now. Okay, let's see here. So, yeah, I think you're top to bottom. You just got a really solid team, and I don't think any one position any one player you're starting you should be super worried about. And I think that gives you a great shot.
Tight end is a weak spot.
It definitely is the weakest spot here. But I like that Waller has at least been back for a week now.
Yeah, and Tommy DeVito is proven to be at least semi-competent.
Right. All right. Do you got anything else for the people, Richard?
I think that's it. I really appreciate you guys clearing up the Amari Cooper and Deontay Johnson question for me. I've been debating on that all week.
Not a problem at all. I hope
Don't come at us when we're wrong.
That's right.
It's a guessing game for anybody, even the professionals.
That's right.
Thank you. Please tell our Twitter followers.
All right. Well, best of luck to you. I think you got a pretty damn good chance to make some money here. So, like I said, good luck. And before we let you go, I got to ask, who wins in a fight, a taco or a grilled cheese sandwich?
Is it a hard shell taco or a soft taco?
Ooh, that changes the game, and nobody else has asked that. I like Richard's chances of winning this tournament a lot better.
Your choice. How about, you know what? Give me both scenarios. I'm curious now.
All right. If it's a hard shell taco, it's going to crumple. It's going to break. If it's a soft shell taco, it'll be able to absorb the impact just like the grilled cheese. So I think they would sit there and hit each other, and they just both be like, "Are you done yet?" I think they tie. I think they would have, they would both be standing. They could both take everything the other could offer.
Damn. Okay, so
it's the most intriguing thing that we've heard.
This is not fair. He got a chance to sit there and think about that question you asked at the previous year.
Okay. The question from now on is going to be grilled cheese versus a hard shell taco.
There you go.
And so I'm marking you down for grilled cheese, but I gotta say I'm so here for the debate that was just presented to me, and I think you're so right. But for the sake of this debate, a hard shell taco is now the competitor, and we have 2 votes for grilled cheese.
The right choice, by the way.
Grilled cheese from me.
All right. We appreciate it, man.
Thank you, guys.
Thanks for coming, Richard.
Thank you. And Merry Christmas from the electric company.
Sometimes those light bulb moments are on a strand wrapped around a Christmas tree. As you celebrate with friends and family this holiday season, your friends at Studel Financial Services want to wish you a Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year. It's never too late to start planning for your future. Studel Financial Services. Find them online at studelfinancial.com.
I told you, Schultz. I told you. It's grilled cheese sandwich. I don't care if my vote doesn't count anymore.
That was incredible.
That was great. You have way too much time to think about that.
I wasn't ready for
that. Logic.
All right, who is up next for us?
Are we early? I think we're early. We're 5 minutes early.
Oh, okay.
And I think Alex is muted. He is muted. We don't hear him if he's not.
Can you hear me?
Now we can.
Now we can. There we go.
All right. I was jiggling things around over here.
The continuity on this show has been top notch.
That's what we do.
So yeah, what were you saying, Alex? Are we
All
early
right.
in this guess?
So our 9:45 is supposed to be less. He's not here.
Okay.
However, our 10, Danny, has been here for a while.
Oh,
He has had a lot of time to think about the taco question.
Isn't that what we're all here for?
Now we are, yeah.
So we want to just go to Danny and see
Yeah,
if
I'm down.
Les will show up.
As well.
All right. Bring him in.
Danny, what is going on? Welcome.
No, not a whole lot, man. Just enjoying fantasy football. A lot of my teams are doing well, and including have a chance in Bowling Green to do it again. So I was talking to a few of my friends the other day, and I just they said, "Well, man, this is awesome. I hope you win it again. It'd be really cool." And I was like, "You know what? It'd be cool just to win a grand or something." And then I thought about it. I'm like, "Shit, I want to win the whole damn thing. Let's go." So
That's right.
So I'm definitely enjoying it.
Okay, so I love it because our last guy was like, I'm just happy to be here. And you're just like, hell no, I want to win this thing.
Absolutely.
So you're what, in fourth place right now? This is awesome. So yeah, you're about 25-ish points out from first.
But Kamara got me the other last night. Yeah, that was a poor performance.
Yeah, not a good start from him for you.
No, but
you've got a ton of ceiling in the rest of this lineup.
Yeah. I listened to your previous two guys, and man, I'm definitely debating a couple spots. So Pollard is definitely going out because I didn't like his performance last week, and man, I don't know. That could be a good high scoring game, but McBride has been on fire, and kind of hard not to put him in the lineup. And then, man, I love Lamar. I think I wore a Lamar jersey the last couple of years to the draft, and I'm sitting him this week, I think, and with Baker Mayfield, and just like the matchup a whole lot more than San Francisco's defense. But then again, Lamar has this is the other debate I have, is Lamar has been really good against top-notch opponents, and especially if the game script isn't him coming back or him having to throw is could be amazing. So I don't know. It's a tough decision to make.
Muted himself again. Zach did. I knew he was going to do that.
Damn it.
It's because he had the comment on the bottom of the screen. You can't see that little microphone.
So you are sitting in the worst fantasy conundrum. You've got the stud of all studs with the talent, but he's got the terrible matchup, and then you've got the middle of the pack dude with the great matchup. That sucks. I mean, it's a good spot to be in, but it sucks.
Yeah.
I've
done this before. I'll probably flip a coin at the last moment. So, take the fate out of my own decision. So,
I hope it lands on Lamar.
Yeah, I kind of do too. Lamar against NFC teams is just like a totally different player. That's usually when he has his massive blow up games, and the pass defense for San Francisco hasn't been great. Their run defense is awesome, but they've been pretty bad against the pass. Then again, it's old man OBJ. So I love Zay Flowers. We all do.
So if a man in the bottom right, is that Zach? I'm sorry. I don't know y'all's names yet. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
If you pick Lamar as well, I guess I got to go Baker because y'all like the ESPN curse.
That's true, and I would pick Lamar. So
okay, well, shit.
You got it.
You think you got to go Baker because all three of us picked Lamar? I'm so for that.
Usually how it plays out.
Right, exactly.
Go check our Twitter accounts just to know what it's really like.
I'm probably overthinking it. Looking at ESPN's rankings and everything like that, it's easy.
Or yards per fantasy rankings.
I don't know. Just it's pretty easy to go with a good matchup too. So it's gonna be fun. And I love Rachaad White. I got him in almost every league, and I love Amon-Ra St. Brown. Yes, he had the best value in the second round of every draft I got. So
yes.
Huge St. Brown
preseason. I think I had him ranked third or fourth overall.
You were definitely the
When he was-
highest out of
His
everybody.
ADP was going like 11th.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I got him in a lot, and then I think I played in 11 fantasy football leagues. I got him in 7. And
that's awesome.
and the ones I got outbid in the auctions. Not so I didn't get him in the. I got him a lot in the snake drafts.
So you are now the
And-
third person to have Deontay Johnson on the bench. And I'm not saying that in like a you're wrong, because you're right. He does not deserve to be played this week, but I was just noting it from like a that's really odd standpoint.
He's going to be like the guy on most rosters to win a ESPN or whatever league championship, but not actually play.
Yeah, he's going to have highest points for now off the bench in all the league recaps.
I collect baseball cards and football cards and basketball cards, and I actually invested a lot of money thinking Aaron Rodgers was going to come to Pittsburgh, and I think Deontay Johnson's stats were going to blow up, and yeah, that backfired on me. I got a whole bunch of signed, autographed Deontay Johnson cards. Can't wait for him to become a free agent, go to a team where he can actually thrive.
I was just about to say, hold on, because he's a free agent.
Yes. I hope he actually goes to a quarterback that can throw the ball. That offense is terrible.
Yeah, no one looks happy in
So
Pittsburgh,
bad.
so any free agent's probably out the door if they can make it that way.
In another league, I went with Hudson over Freiermuth as a tight end, and he's not even in the top 25 in ESPN, but I'm like, Freiermuth is awful. Like it's bad. So I hope it's a PPR, so hopefully gets me at least 10 points because I'm doing well in that league. So
Well, you hit the lottery here on tight end with Sam Laporta and Trey McBride.
Yeah.
I picked up Trey probably like 3 or 4 weeks ago, and right when he had his first good game, and I was able to pick him up for dirt cheap because I didn't have a lot of money left, and it's been a blessing. He hasn't started in my lineup. This is the first time he's actually going to start. So yes, because I mean with the running backs that I had, Pollard, White, who else?
Kamara.
Yeah, Kamara and gotta have one more. Somebody really good. Anyways.
Most are who you're talking about.
Yeah, exactly. It's kind of hard not to play those 4 guys every week, so I haven't really had a flex open. But I don't know. Pollard's just been very big disappointment all year. But you're supposed to get a lot of points from your first round draft pick, and yeah, he has not done it for me this year.
I think Trey McBride's a totally reasonable flex play. I think you're dead on. We have no Hollywood Brown this week, correct?
Right.
No Hollywood Brown, and Greg Dortch is questionable too. I know that doesn't really mean a lot on the surface, but that's a lot of slot close to the line of scrimmage targets that Rondell Moore just doesn't seem to absorb, and that usually goes to Trey McBride. So, and
I know the Bears defense has improved a lot since the Montez Sweat edition, but I do want to say they give up like the 6th most points fantasy points to tight ends. So
that's awesome.
I'm down for the flex play there.
Yeah, 100%. I think that was a no-brainer, especially like everyone in my lineup went off last week except for Pollard, and it's just like that's such a disappointment. And then Trey McBride sitting there with like 22 or 21 points. I'm like, God, I wish I had played him, but it's hard to do that.
You wouldn't be 4th; you'd be 2nd or 1st right now. Yeah. That's for sure.
I scored 182 last week, which was pretty awesome.
Heck yeah! Oh my goodness.
With Pollard getting I think 8.
So this team is really good. You hit a couple late round guys like we hit on with White, Laporta, McBride, but you nailed your top of the draft too for the most part. So you got as good of a shot as any man here.
Can I ask why the hell you have Deuce Vaughn on your roster still?
That's a good question.
Sometimes
he's a mascot.
Team mascot, baby. He's the Roshan Johnson of this team.
He's the Tim Tebow. Hey.
You never know, right?
No, my only question is how many times have you made the right choice to start Gabe Davis this year? Because you're in a good position, so it had to be the right weeks that you actually played Gabe Davis.
He was basically my. One of my guys was out and needed to plug and play. Like he didn't really play that whole lot, and I think the 1 week I really needed him, he actually performed extremely well.
30-point game.
Yeah, it was like the only good two or three good games he's had. He was playing for me, so I love it. I was kind of disappointed in the other Bowling Green League, the Friday Night League. I had a 10-1 team in second round of the playoffs. I just didn't perform.
Classic fantasy for you.
Oh yeah. So y'all ready for the taco question?
I am.
It should be the grilled cheese question because it's a no-brainer. It's grilled cheese.
All right, it's 3-1, baby.
Yep. Especially with the hard taco, like the whole soft taco issue, debate. Yeah, that was.
I wasn't ready for it. I'll be honest.
Now going back on his soft taco versus the grilled cheese, how gooey is the grilled cheese? That was the question I had. Is it just gonna start just going spreading out like crazy? So,
two Kraft singles in it. It's pretty gooey.
Yeah. Now we're gonna ask, what kind of cheese is it?
Oh,
Kraft singles.
Listen, if the grilled cheese is made right and the outside is hard and crispy, then it could cut the soft shell taco in half, so it still wins.
Still grilled cheese.
Yeah, still grilled cheese.
All right, I'm on it.
Awesome.
Well, you've already won this tournament before, haven't you?
2019. I want to be I'm not sure if there is a person that's won it twice. I know Kelly's shooting for it. I want to be the first. If there hasn't,
that's pretty damn cool that third and fourth place, both of you guys have won it before. And I think you guys both have great shots. So good luck, man.
We've been talking some shit to each other. We know each other quite well.
Oh, hell yeah. That's great. I love it. That's what fantasy's all about.
Yeah, he's a good guy. I played in the golf scramble with him just recently and had a blast.
That's awesome. Well, appreciate you jumping on with us and good luck, man.
Awesome. Hey, real quick question. Can I watch this tomorrow or is there going to be a link up or anything like that?
This is here forever.
Okay, awesome.
And it'll also be audio version on the podcast feed. I'll email that to you guys.
Okay. I appreciate it, man. Thank you all.
No problem, Danny. Thank you.
See you, man.
Later.
Boom.
I was waiting for the
ad. Cheese is running away with this
shit. All right. We ready for Les?
Yeah.
Yes.
All right. We skipped you, Les, but here we are.
Les, what's up, man?
Les.
Can't hear him.
I think
couldn't hear you, Les.
Got no audio. We can filibuster with the grilled cheese debate again if we need to.
We could talk about grilled cheeses all night.
No, still nothing.
All right. Well, he's got Patrick Mahomes as a quarterback.
Did you drop him out or did he drop out on his own there?
He went out on his own. I think he's probably unplugging and plugging back in. He's jiggling.
Probably just StreamYard. We've done this enough times.
The jiggling is gonna get it. I'm telling you.
The jingle.
Ooh, we got 3 Camara teams. That's crazy. I mean, it makes sense though because he was on such a tear going into the playoffs.
Lots of overlap here. Let's see. He's loading in, ladies and gentlemen.
Now, you got me?
Boom.
There we go.
You got it? Cool. Awesome. What's up, fellas? Sorry about that.
Hey, no problem.
Sorry for talking shit about the Steelers.
Hey, talk as much as you want. I'm so over it, man. It's like I'm going to go on a tangent if I get started, dude. I'm so over all of it. Like, you got to blow the whole thing up. I don't care. Everybody keeps saying, "Oh, if Tomlin goes and wins somewhere," and like, who cares? Go win 1,000 games somewhere else. I don't care. Change the course. I cannot play this team for 2 more years like this. It's driving me insane.
Les is tired of 9-8, and
I can't stand it. You're in that mushy middle where you never get better and you never get worse. You just stay there forever. It's ridiculous, man. It's awful. You'd rather be
Kenny Pickett.
Oh my God, not the guy, man. There's no way he's the guy. He's gotten lucky in a few fourth quarter games, but where the hell were you the first 2 quarters when you were doing jack? I mean, it's awful. Flacco rolls off the couch and he's like stats after 2 games are killing freaking Kenny's. I mean, it's ridiculous. The only thing Kenny did, only thing that worked out great for Kenny was freaking Trubisky comes in and oh my God, there is worse quarterback he can be going than what Kenny Pickett was doing. It's ridiculous. It's
so safe to say You're not excited about Mason Rudolph on
Oh
Christmas
my
Eve?
God, Mason Rudolph! What another bum! Get this kid out of here too. Why is he still on the roster? This guy's got to go. He should have never been there. Matt Canada fired 2 years ago. What is he doing? Like, why did he come back this year? He done nothing. The guy's unqualified. Get them all out of here. Fire everybody.
I can't believe Mike Tomlin has let racist Mason Rudolph stay on the team.
That's so true. That's a good point.
They all got to go. I'm so sick of it. Rooney, sell the team. Do something. I'm at my wits' end. I can't stand it.
This is
I've
awesome.
wasted 3 hours every week of the football season watching that crap. It is the worst. Oh, my God.
Oh, man.
It's torture.
Well, hey, hopefully for the next
Here's
2 weeks, you're going to get some exciting football entertainment out of this team.
Yeah, I've had a great year. It's been awesome. It's been a killer year.
So, yeah, you're in 10th right now. How long have you been playing in the league?
Gosh, I've been in it probably, I want to say about 15 years or so. So this is probably the best showing this late in the year I've had. Rolled through the division, 1 loss. Playoffs kind of dipped a little bit. Had one monster week. Other one kind of dipped, squeaked out the championship. But I've pretty much been wire to wire with the high points for like the first 12, the way we do the league and all. You have a top point getter out of the whole 264 teams for that first 12 weeks before you go into your divisional playoffs. So got a nice little chunk there for that. Got some regular season record chunk, a little high points record chunk, division record chunk after a championship. So it's been a very beneficial year. One of the cool things Harwood does too, man, the guy that runs the league, is we have a lot of FanDuel contests, and I've played on house money like the last 3 or 4 years, winning like a FanDuel, like with he'll cap it at like 20, 25 people. And $25 usually. I've gotten lucky the last few years, got in after 2 or 3 tries. So you don't have to win too much to kind of get your money back there. And it's a great league.
15 years and you've never won it. What the hell?
Man, I'm like the division. I finally got to division this year, so I'm like, all right, let's go ahead and just knock it all out in one fell swoop. I'm always a bridesmaid, never the bride when it comes to the championship. It's always been right there, and I cannot finish the deal. I look like I've got this in the bag, and then
what are you playing in a league with 250 people or something?
Jeez, man, come on. Have you ever been top 15 at all, Les? Have you ever made top 15?
I had one year, gosh, years ago. I was got in. The way I don't know if Kelly hit on this earlier when I was listening or not. They do like the top 4 teams of each 12-team division. That's who makes the playoffs, or teams that have like they let some wild cards in this year with like a 500 or better record. So you end up with a pretty high number in the playoffs and all. So it. But yeah, I had a year where I was up at the top, like week 2, like about top 3 or so. Vincent Jackson had some like freakish, like 42, 43 point. I'm dating myself on that one. That's been a minute. Rest in peace, right?
Yeah, that would have been Bucks Vincent Jackson, wouldn't it?
Yeah, it was. Yeah.
Late in his career, he would go out and have the random 3-touchdown game. Yeah.
Yeah.
Mike Evans before Mike Evans.
Oh, hell
yes,
yeah.
That's right. That's right. That's a good comparison. Very similar.
Okay, looking at your team here, man, what the hell pick did you have? Because how did you leave the first 2 rounds with Mahomes and Tyreek?
So I had the 6th pick. This is kind of a weird story. I'll give you a little so I'm sitting there with 6, and I had this strategy going in. I was like, if I can get top 5, 6, I'm getting Kelsey. He'll be there, top 5 or 6. I was like, I think that gives you the biggest advantage in any position. I had this whole strategy. And I was like, if I can't get him, I'm planting my flag on I want Tyreek. I want the cheetah. So he goes, and I'm like, oh, geez. I'm like, okay, now it's McCaffrey. It's Tyreek. I'm like, I'm doing it. It seems early, but I'm taking it. And it's paid off, man. He's been awesome. And then it came back around. I was like, man, I could just pump. If I could get Mahomes and him right here, knock out the quarterback and number 1 wide receiver right in the first 2 rounds. And with ours, it snakes back to after round 2. So I'm like, I'm going to get a pretty decent pick here too. And I came back in there and got ETN. So I filled some spots with some pretty high quality guys right off the bat.
Yeah, that's huge. And, sometimes it's all about the people you don't draft, because you wouldn't be sitting here if you had taken Kelsey.
No, absolutely not.
And so, yeah, that fell your way for you. And that's awesome.
Yeah, I mean, McCaffrey would have been McCaffrey Hill's kind of a wash almost. I mean, it's pretty close there either way. I don't think it would have been a huge difference. I was able to find some value on some running backs way later. I thought, man, I ended up landing Mostert in like the 12th round. I got
it was such a great year for that.
Oh, yeah, it was, man. It just set up perfect. It's one of those things I'll look at, man, is I want opportunities. Like, who's that guy that's like right there? Like, there's a lot of those running back guys you can be like, oh, he may not be a 50-50 running back committee, but if you get that guy that's like maybe a 40-60 run share, 35 or something, they're just like one play away. And you get those guys that can really buy. I drafted J.K. Robbins. I got that 1 week out of him with like a touchdown, like 80 yards, but I had Gus Edwards in the backside. Now Gus Edwards looks more valuable since Keaton's went down. So you've got got a little bit of a bump there too. Jordan Addison getting him was huge too. I mean, that guy's way overperformed. Last week having Hill out, I was able to get a monster number with him, and Chris Godwin came out of nowhere and finally done something and had a monster game. So that lesson to blow with Tyreek being out by a lot, that could have been killer.
You can really see where like you had the big, because just looking at your bench, you've got Brian Robinson, who's had like massive weeks. Is he still top 10 right now with the missed games in total points for running back? I know he was close.
He's been a stud when he's been on the field. He's like that dump off, like that's Hal's guy. Drop it off and see what Brian Robinson can do. So he's definitely been that guy. But he has had some monster weeks for sure.
He's fallen to 16 in half PPR.
Gotcha. I figured it was coming after this last game missed.
I was about to jump in and mention him as well when Ryan did. Coming into later into the preseason, he was a guy I started to really come around on, and I love that you brought up the opportunity because I don't like Brian Robinson, the player. I don't think he's super talented. I don't think he's that great. But the coaching staff has proven that they love this dude, and they're gonna load him up. And where he was going in drafts, you were just drafting straight opportunity and volume, and you scooped it up, and it paid out.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. It paid dividends. Like some of those guys, just getting them in that. It's a lot of work, who falls where. And like if you can just kind of find those right, like those guys that if they have a chance, like those are the guys I want. I'm not interested as much in the backup. I want the guy that I think even he's a backup, but he's got some quality and he's just right there at the cusp.
Yeah, sometimes people, when they're drafting running backs in particular, they kind of, overlook these. They want these sexy pieces, and they overlook these boring, volume guys like a Brian Robinson, a Gus Edwards, and so forth. And I think that worked out well for you.
Yeah, it's been a very solid year. And one thing I've kind of helped me out too, like somewhere in the year, I started looking. I was having such a good year. I was like, okay, I'm going to line up my defensive plays for the rest of the year. Can I look out? I started looking. I started looking at Miami, and I'm like, we got the Jets twice. We got there was another weak ass team in there too, and it was like just kept being all of them. It's like, oh man, you looked at them, then you looked at like, well, you also got like this week I've got a little conundrum. I'm like, yeah, which one do I go with? The Jets offense is so bad, but Washington's defense is really bad. At least the Jets is kind of good, so I guess I go the Jets against the Commanders. Guess you go that route. Hope you get a little Jets love on maybe a pick six or something. But yeah, lining up those like matchups where you've had that terrible team, and you can get with somebody that's maybe not a marquee defense, but just gives you a nice little edge. Like last week, I think ended up like 24 to 30 points or something on the Dolphins. It was killer.
I think that's a super smart strategy to load up on that many defenses. Like my first glance was like, what the hell are you doing? But like, I think I take that approach from a head-to-head redraft standpoint. When you're shooting for the stars in a big tournament like this, I love going in and just taking your shot at a big-time defense, a big-time score for a defense each week.
Especially at this point in the season, if you were rostering 4 defenses in like week 4, I'd be killing you for it. But preparing for the playoffs and the tournament like this, I think it's a smart move. I agree.
Right.
Yeah, just kind of looking at. There's a lot of guys. There's other guys you could add, but if you're having to play some of those guys, you're going to have to add versus maybe actually starting someone. I'd rather have the defensive option as opposed to some bum that I'm probably done anyway if I'm having to play.
You're not a top 10 guy if you have to do that. If you have to play those guys that are sitting out there, so you're making the right choice 1,000% because, like you said, any of these defenses on any given week, nobody's playing the Washington defense or the Tampa Bay defense unless the matchup is great and then they get 25 points. So it's the best position to play like streaming options out of even over quarterback and tight end, because you can still find those quarterbacks and tight ends you play weekly. Defense, there's almost no defense you play every single week. You have to keep switching them out.
Yeah, find a value there.
100%.
Anyone else?
Everything look good? You think I got it? It's about the best I can do with what I got, right?
That's what I was going to ask. Yeah. Do you have any lineup questions, like some ones that you're mulling over, trying to figure out, decide between?
The only one, I mean, I think you got to play Jets, not Commanders, right?
Yeah.
Hope
I'd go Jets.
Yeah.
I'd go Jets this week. You guys agree?
Yeah. So it's tough. I think there's a world where the Commanders' defense is a fantastic play. And they could be that defense that pops with a touchdown. Because who the hell is starting? Simeon again? Yeah. But ultimately, I think I'm leaning on the talent of the Jets defense.
Yeah.
Because they also, I mean, they're playing Jacoby Brissett. It's not like they have a gauntlet of a matchup. So I'm leaning towards the talent still.
Yeah.
I think they'll both do well.
Yeah, this game may not even go over 20 points total, like between the two teams. You may make the right decision no matter what you do.
There could be defensive scores from both sides. It's very easy.
Right, exactly.
There's your prop bet for Sunday.
I love it.
Don't tempt me.
All right, Les. Well, before we go, we got to ask, who would win in a fight, a grilled cheese sandwich or a hard shell taco?
Man, I was kind of torn at first, but I think that I caught the last little bit of the guy on before me. And when y'all started talking about the grilled part, and I've had a lot of grilled, like bacon, egg, and cheese sandwich and some grilled toast of late, that bread gets super hard, man. I think the taco's going down.
All right.
Too much.
Hopefully our last guest is not listening to this part because his vote doesn't matter. Grilled cheese has already won, people. Well, Les,
should be.
We appreciate it, dude. This is awesome. Good luck, man.
All right. Appreciate it, guys.
Thanks for coming on.
Man.
There it is.
Well, we had Scott in the waiting area, and now he's gone.
Play the sponsorship. Alex.
All right, cue it up. Cue it up. Happy Christmas.
Sometimes those light bulb moments are on a strand wrapped around a Christmas tree. As you celebrate with friends and family this holiday season, your friends at Studel Financial Services want to wish you a Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year. It's never too late to start planning for your future. Studel Financial Services. Find them online at studelfinancial.com.
Oh, look at that. See?
I better get like a royalty for playing that 6 times.
Every single time it works, man. All right. We've got Scott in the house. What is up, dude?
What's going on?
Oh, not much. We have just been chatting with some people here, and now you're on, and you're sitting in 5th, which makes you a prime contender to take some big money here, man. How you feeling?
I'm feeling pretty good about my team, actually.
Yeah, I think you should. I love you are the first team I think we've come across who has like a bona fide quarterback receiver stack, which is interesting to me that the team
a tournament like this.
Right. So you're sitting with Hurts and Brown, and I love that. But it is very interesting to me that we have now talked to 5 teams in the top 10, and this is the first one with like a legit stack.
Well, I tried to get a quarterback early. It kind of laid out a little different for me on my draft. People were going running back heavy, so I went wide receiver heavy. So my first picks were Stephon Diggs, A.J. Brown, then Jalen Hurts, then DK Metcalf.
Man, you can't start a draft much better than that.
Yeah. Beautiful.
That
must have been Jalen Hurts in the late 3rd round, then, right?
3rd round.
I was first.
Right.
Yeah.
So yeah, you killed your top end of the draft, and then you're loading in with value late with Rashad White, Trey McBride, Kyron Williams, Chuba Hubbard. Cortland Sutton has been fantastic for where you drafted him at.
I would agree.
You top to bottom, like overall, smashed your draft. So bravo there.
Thank you.
Yeah. Crushed the zero RB strategy, whether it was intentional or not.
Yeah.
It really wasn't. But Kieran Williams and Trey McBride off the waiver wire, those were huge pickups for me.
Beautiful.
Who was your tight end before Trey McBride? Because I don't even think I see another one on this roster. Oh no, sorry, Gerald Everett.
Yeah, I had Cole Kmet, but he wasn't doing too hot, and I dropped him, and then I was scrambling to try to fill that spot. I ended up going with Jonnu Smith and Trey McBride, and actually played those guys at the right times, and it worked out well.
Yeah,
Trey
McBride is going to be one of those dudes who's like most rostered by championship teams for sure.
Yeah.
Who is? I missed that.
McBride.
Oh yeah. And Rashad White.
Mm-hmm.
Well, see, and you left out Alvin Kamara too. I drafted him as well, which he's turned out to be pretty strong.
Yeah, we forget that nobody was touching him with his suspension. He was going like 6th, 7th, 8th round most of August.
I was out.
Well, and I grabbed Jamal Williams too because I thought he would obviously be the guy the first 3 weeks, but really he didn't do anything. And then Kamara though once he got going, he got going.
Who's Kamara got this? Oh wait, he played last time. Never mind. Yeah, he didn't do that well.
Oh,
that was the problem.
I'm not the only one.
He had kind of not a stinker last night, but it wasn't a double-digit point game, so it's kind of a letdown from what he's been doing.
Yeah.
Right. Well, I still had Kieran do all right, and I feel strong about the rest of the guys I got to play. So.
Yeah, you've got good matchups. The Eagles always smash the Giants. DK's got a great matchup against the Titans. They have a bad secondary. Stephon Diggs against the Chargers. You've got your lineup looks really good. You've got really good matchups to go with it. Do you got any lineup decisions you're kind of wavering on?
Not really. Kamara and I seeing after the fact, obviously maybe Chuba Hubbard or he might have been able to do more, but no one's gonna. I'm not gonna sit Kamara.
You're never doing that. No.
Yeah, I think if one Hubbard would have been like a decent play, but you're not benching Kamara for him.
Well, last week I had a dilemma because I had Hurts and I didn't know if he was going to play, and I couldn't really go to pick anything up off the waiver wire. So I was like, you know what, I'm going to go Baker, and that was a great decision because he ended up killing it.
Wow, you got lucky there.
that wasn't luck. That was man. That's the way you do it. And Hurts had his stinker. I think this week, especially with no Devonta Smith. Well, I shouldn't say no Devonta Smith. Devonta Smith hasn't practiced games with a knee injury, and that was picked up this last week. If it's just AJ Brown out there, dude, you might have an AJ Brown 3-touchdown game. I mean, it's very possible.
Yeah, I would love that.
So the thing I love about your receivers is all three of your dudes have that ceiling to go 150 in multiple touchdowns.
Right.
So if the stars line up and your receivers go off, you could vault up the board this week.
Well, and I'm not too far from first, and but I've kind of looked at their teams and looked at mine, and I like the way mine stacks up.
Yeah, I'll be honest. I know we usually pick our favorite teams at the end, but I think yours is my favorite, Scott, out of all the ones we've talked about today. It's just loaded everywhere. There's not a weak spot.
Yeah, there's no weak spot here.
Yeah, I would say I think this is the most well-rounded team that we've talked about so far, that every other team we've brought up has had one lineup decision that you could question, or maybe one position where you might say is a little weaker. But yeah, right. Top to bottom, this is a team.
Yeah, 100%. I think you got our vote. You're our favorite team by far out of everybody. Oh, I think he froze.
Yeah, he's frozen.
Oh, that's
Say it again.
just keep saying it until he comes back.
Right.
Run the jingle.
We can't have him leave. He has to answer the grilled cheese taco.
Yeah. Although the debate's been settled, I guess.
Mm-hmm.
It is 4-1.
What do you mean, I guess? Alex, are you on the taco side? Because that's ridiculous.
No.
Oh, okay. All right.
No,
You sounded disappointed that it was settled.
No. I was disappointed that it was settled and that we don't have to have him be the tiebreaker.
That I can agree with. We're going to have to filibuster with another ad.
Should have brought our own ads to this thing at this point.
Right? What are we doing?
Run a yard.
Can we play can we play this? Or can we have a little victory lap moment?
Quentin Johnson is yet to overtake Josh Palmer, and it may be a while before he gets there. Johnson seems to be struggling with drops. It's an issue that plagued him in college.
With how much you got dragged, Alex, today on Twitter, you deserve that Quentin Johnson.
Thank
Real
you.
right.
Thank you.
Awesome.
Hey, he's back. Look at that. I told you, play ad.
All we gotta do is play Quentin Johnson dropping a ball. It works miracles.
Got you back.
Anyways, we were just in the middle of telling you that every other team, there's like they have one like lineup decision that they're kind of wavering on, or they've got like a position that is like a kind of a glaring weak spot on the team. You don't have any of that. This is deep. Every position that you're starting, it's a no doubt starter. You're not questioning anyone. I think you guys get a shot as anyone.
Yeah.
Well, thank you. I hope it comes about.
Just remember, if we called it, you got our email addresses to send some of those winnings.
Yeah. Royalty. We know how much you're getting. We know how much you're getting.
So actually, I it's been some years back, but I ended up in the running, and actually first week out the gate, one of my team scored like 230 something points. I was way ahead of everybody else, and then the next 2 weeks, my team just acted like they'd never seen a football in their life, and I dropped from first down to like I want to say it was like 14th or 15th. I dropped out of the money. But
how long have you been playing in this?
Actually, I've been there for 12 or 13 years now, I think. Actually, one of my buddies is Chudnovsky, and him and I have grown up together and known each other since we were like 8 or 9 years old. And so he won it, and he keeps giving me crap. He's like, man, when are you going to join the Champions Club? And I was just like, man, stop giving me grief.
13 years, no wins. Come on, this is gonna be the
well,
year.
not in this league. Now I've won some other things, but not the big one.
This is the year.
I'm thinking it is.
This is your best shot.
What's the best you've ever finished?
Probably that 15th that 1 year. It's just it's taken a while to get back.
I mean, out of all the teams that are in this, that's pretty damn good.
Right.
Yeah, 100%.
Well,
I agree.
I think you guys get a shot as anyone, man. So best of luck. And I guess before we go, we got to ask who'd win in a fight, a grilled cheese sandwich or a hard shell taco?
I'd have to say a hard shell taco.
Ooh, all right.
Okay, all right.
We're bringing the margin in a little closer. All right, man. Once again, good luck. You got anything else for the people?
No, just that enjoy the games. Love fantasy football, and appreciate y'all having me on.
Well, we appreciate you joining and the league for having us do this, because this was really fun. And I know this was kind of last second, and I mean, we were glad we were able to throw it together because this was a really cool idea and really cool to review a big, giant tournament like this.
Right.
Yeah, I appreciate it a lot.
Yeah. Oh, he just dropped. Say, Alex, we cut him off. That was just wrong.
It's all right.
Way to go.
Perfect. Okay.
Alex's next life is not as a video producer.
Listen. That's okay.
Well, anyone got anything else?
I mean, we gave our favorite team. Like that one, I think is the best for sure. And
I have to agree. Yeah, due to the fact that there's just no weakness at all.
Mm-hmm.
Right, and he still has the ceiling at like almost every position as well.
Yeah,
and he can absorb a bad Kamara game because half the teams we talked about had Kamara today, and I guarantee you that probably 6 or 7 other teams in the top 15 also have Kamara on their roster.
That's a really good point. And nobody's benching him, so it's not like you're making up the ground.
Yeah, 100%. I would like to see the most roster players in the top 15. We should have pulled that beforehand. That's something we can think about for next time because there's probably a lot of them. And we could probably give some better advice too. Maybe
that's
for
a good
some
point.
start sets. But hindsight's 2020. We'll think about that next time because they're going to have us back, right, Alex? Did we sell it good enough?
I think so. I think we did good.
All right, so next year we will provide an episode for 1 yards per fantasy team admission into the tournament.
Oh yes, absolutely. God, if you put us all as commissioners, though, we're gonna just fight all freaking year.
Yeah, right. But yeah, this was a really cool episode for us to do, and these giant fantasy tournaments are really fun, especially when you get down to the wire like this. As fantasy players, like being in the chase at the end, this is what it's all about. And when let's be real, when you're chasing some big money with it, like that shit gets real and it gets exciting. So yeah, have a couple of really fun weekends and just soak it in.
Yeah, 100%. And just thanks to everybody who let us do it. This was great. I love talking to
We
everybody.
got to start having more of these teams come on as guests.
I know that was way cool.
I didn't have to say a word.
Yeah. Alex said it. You had it easy over there, man.
Yeah,
that's what Alex liked the most. He didn't have to talk. He just had to look pretty the whole time. And he got to play Quentin Johnson drop.
But other than that, I think that's it for us. Go follow Yards Per on Twitter. Follow it on YouTube. Go follow us on Twitter.
Yes, this is not our YouTube channel. We have a separate YouTube channel. Go find that.
Yes,
please.
Like you said. Other than that, I think that's it. I'm out.
That's it.
See you later.